Hello and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I'm your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
Yeah, getting all ready over there?
Trying to.
Yeah, no, I get it. So you got a G&T and green tea.
It's like being a jack in the box. Do 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 doodle do 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 do, and sprung.
Yeah, except instead of a doll that pops out of the box, it's a boxing glove that punches you right in the mouth.
I resemble that remark.
Oh, I'm aware. Hence why I made the remark.
Forsooth.
All right, so today, once again, we don't really have a topic. Well, I mean, we do, but
We always have a topic.
Oh, we do. I mean, we eventually find a topic. I just really, I'm not sure. Can we talk about me?
That situation? Sure.
Yeah, that situation. Okay, I'm just making sure she's cool with it.
I mean, you know.
Stuff
happens.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we talked about my car accident. We talked about your car accident. We talked about the Matriarch's car accident all on the same day.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And might as well keep the pain train rolling.
Pain train.
Monetize the pain.
Chugging along.
Mm-hmm.
Chug.
Well, I guess the starter topic right now
Sure.
would be the slip and slide of doom that the matriarchy.
Huh?
Yeah, the matriarch. She took a spill twice.
Yeah, that was.
Then had to get cut open to put everything back together again.
Yeah.
So what exactly happened?
I don't know. I was getting
Because you and I were asleep. Well, you were getting up.
Well, actually, I was up. I was doing my morning pages.
Yes.
And I had about 3 lines left on the 3rd page. And I remember thinking how restless Charlie DeMama was. And then I hear the door open and they go outside.
Mm-hmm.
And a few minutes later, when I'm finishing up my morning pages, my morning writing, the door opens and the matriarch's voice is in a very peculiar tone that is rare.
Uh-huh.
And the phrase, something similar to, I think I have dislocated and or broken my elbow, comes out. And as a and having a history of being an emergency room nurse.
Yeah, because did that click on first?
It did. There's no positive aspect of that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No.
There's a lot of injuries you can have. It's quite common, actually.
Sure.
But when you talk about a dislocated or a fractured elbow,
yeah, you can't. Once you declare such a traumatic thing,
that's just a particular part of the body that when something happens to it, there's no positive spin on it at all.
No. Because here's the thing: you can theoretically, well, not theoretically, you can actually say something happened to your shoulder. You could pop a shoulder back in. It's going to hurt, but overall you'll live.
Yeah, I've done it.
But an elbow?
An elbow is it's bad news.
Yeah, and it's vital on top of it.
It's very vital. Yeah, it's one of those things where once it is an emergency healthcare licensed provider.
Yes.
It's just one of those.
Yes, George Carlin.
It's one of those areas that there is no and she happened to have both. It was fractured and dislocated.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Just un-ucking believable.
If you're gonna do it, you might as well, go the whole way, I guess. Never do anything. Never do anything half-assed, ladies and gentlemen.
You got a whole ass one thing. Never half-ass two things. Whole ass one thing.
That's right. Fall down and break your arm and drag your ass in the highway and get hit by a car.
As God intended.
As God intended. and I was so obviously.
So you were just in ER mode, just snaps open.
Well, not necessarily. It was kind of this path we are on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you mean with the program, or just
with the
general?
program and everything?
Everything going to hell.
No, I mean all I could. I talk about how how the herd.
Mm-hmm.
The herd. You can get caught up in what the herd's doing.
The mob rules. Yeah.
I had a very herd moment. Because all I could think of, now here is the mother of my children, who's a woman that I love, and all I can think about is how to fix her just enough so I can get to work.
To be fair, it was like 4:00 in the morning.
It was about 4:30 in the morning.
So your brain fully hadn't processed the whole. Oh Jesus! I have to get her to the thing or whatever.
I have to be personally involved from the beginning to the end. Honestly, truly, it wasn't a matter of trying to,
it's not that he didn't care.
It's not that I didn't care. It was just that I was in this mode of. You're in that mode of when you wake up, let's get ready for work.
Yeah, you're already stuck in that mode.
You're already stuck in that mode. And, obviously, you've got history of being in that mode.
Mm-hmm.
For the life of me, you name it. 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years,
whatever.
40 years, whatever. I was in that mode of whatever comes my way, I have to take care of it, and so I can get it to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in that mode, and I'm not very, I'm not very proud of that.
I will say this: I will cut you some slack, mostly because hell, we're both. I guess what they're calling it nowadays, what the kids are calling it, is neurodivergent with the Asperger syndrome for the both of us. So we can very easily get caught in a rut.
Yeah, that's true.
And if the slightest deviation from the rut, we just get weird and not all the times mad, but definitely irritated.
It gets on my nerves.
Exactly.
Like somebody will come to me. This is what's so crazy. Like they'll make out my schedule, and somebody will, like a peer, will come to me and ask me to because they have some kind of thing going on.
Yeah. What, to switch with you? And
like a switch a day, and man, I get really weird.
Yeah, I've done that myself.
I know,
it's like,
and there's this battle going on in my head.
Yeah.
One is saying, okay, let's look at this. The other one's saying, why are you so weird about this? Why is this a problem?
Yeah. Anytime I have to give somebody a ride in the morning before I go to work, I just get angry because that's not a part of the routine that I've established for myself. Yeah. And I will admit this, that is definitely one of those, like I said, kids nowadays call it neurodivergent, where there's like neurotypical, which means you're a normal person, apparently. Does
that exist?
I guess. I guess. Because now they have a name for it. It's called neurotypical.
Neurotypical.
Where your nervous system is like, there's no hitches or glitches, there's nothing wrong with you. And then there's neurodivergent, which is usually people who are like on the spectrum with Tourette's, ADHD, ADD, Asperger syndrome, actual autism.
Has it been used to argue a court case yet?
I'm waiting on that. What do you mean you killed him? I'm neurodivergent. I had to. I'm waiting for something like that to crop up. It's not going to be quite phrased that way, but some lawyer out there is going to be clever enough to make that argument.
Oh, it's
just
been done.
Wait.
The affluenza teen, that was just a master
Yes.
I definitely want to know the name of that lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
This teen was drunk and was driving a car and killed somebody.
Yeah.
I think it was in Texas.
This makes sense.
Yeah, and some lawyer was literally brilliant, and I need to meet this individual.
Yes.
To argue.
Yeah.
To a jury of this kid's peers.
Yeah.
Peers.
Okay. They're peers.
Peers. All right. So they're in the same similar economic situation, social situation.
And this lawyer,
and
what
this
do you do?
lawyer argued that because this teen had been raised in affluence, he lacked the ability to understand the ramifications of his actions that
wait
a
minute. Wait a minute. Are you telling me? And did it work?
It did.
You telling me?
Oh, it was.
Are you telling me this lawyer?
Storm. Let me tell you.
Are you telling me this lawyer? He not only propped up an argument, but won the entire case by stating that his client's white privilege guaranteed him to not be fully understand what he was getting himself involved in.
I don't know if the word guaranteed was involved, but the rest of that statement is.
Are you sure this didn't happen in California?
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it did not. I don't think it did. Anyway.
I don't mean to take away from.
It turned into a. No, you're absolutely right. No, it turned into a mess.
It turned into a mess.
Because when they decided that, when that was argued.
Here's the thing. That sets a precedent.
Yes. Yes.
If you can use that to win one court case, you can use that to win a number of court cases.
That case, I'm sure it's been used, and I'm pretty
Whether
sure
or not
I've had an article. I read an article or two that flew over the top of that.
Oh man, no wonder my generation wants to burn everything to the ground and start over again. Seriously,
well,
if a lawyer can make the argument of they are too wealthy to understand the ramifications of their actions, what's to stop big time corporations from going like, why did you pollute the entire Pacific Ocean? I didn't know green noxious fluid would poison all the fish. You have to believe me, I'm wealthy. And then they give it to them, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. There's the same gap that exists between all cultures.
Well, yes.
It isn't any bigger now than it ever was. And even people on the more conservative side of that cultural fence, heard that court case decision and went, "What? Okay." And people, you may have a problem with conservatives, but when the punishment is due, based on it, and that kid, that kid should have spent the rest of his days in jail.
The lawyer should have spent the rest of his days in jail just for suggesting that idea.
Or gal. Honestly, I don't know.
I want to meet this person too and being like, okay,
I'm sure
who'd you bribe?
They've written it. No,
you had to have done
I'll tell you something. And that's what people. I've discovered that's what people don't understand about lawyers. Lawyers, the law. Well, honestly and truly, lawyers.
Lawyers look out for lawyers.
Yeah, lawyers look out for lawyers, but they're more effective in understanding the language. That's where "quote unquote" loopholes come from.
Yes,
because they have an understanding of. They can take the same statement. They can take a decision that was made on a court case 30 years ago, and because of a change in the lexicon or the vernacular of the culture, they can argue a different meaning that didn't exist, say, 20, 30 years ago on the same case.
Well, I mean, it does make sense because
it's an understanding and a command of the language. That's it.
Well, I mean, that does make sense from the perspective of you have these individuals who are basically stuffed inside of a room for like what? How long you have to be a lawyer? 7 years? 7 years ish.
Well, no, it's
somewhere in there.
I think you can do it in less.
still.
I know that the longest it takes is variations of what kind of doctor, and then lawyer is like second.
Yeah, so about 5 to 7 years, just give or take. Because I have heard
5 or 7, yeah.
Yeah, 5 to 7 years of
7,
school.
yeah,
you basically stuff these people inside of a room for about 5 to 7-ish years, studying legalese and making them argue with each other the entire time. Of course, they're going to come out swinging for the fences.
Well, I mean, you think it's an interesting. It's such an interesting dichotomy. You think the law, but that you truly don't understand how, 10 people read the same sentence and all get 10 different meanings.
And lawyers take advantage of that.
Well, yes, and they understand the language. It literally is how to take a look at a statement, an established statement, and discover a plausible alternate meaning.
Yes.
That's a different kind of intelligence.
True.
That's not necessarily somebody who would be a rocket scientist or anything like that.
Maybe an English professor.
Sure.
Actually, one of my English professors was he had his bar the bar test to practice law.
Yeah, and that is the other thing about.
And he was one of the most hardcore English professors I ever had.
You can if you pass the bar, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what you have to do to qualify to take the bar, but
I guess a certain amount of schooling, and then the bar is basically your final exam slash dissertation. I don't know. We're not lawyers.
But if you pass the bar and you don't have a college degree, then you're in.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, I get it.
Yeah. So,
I get it.
There's that.
Yeah, I think that professor, I love this guy. This guy was a really good teacher because he was the only English teacher to have ever fully explained what a comma splice was and how to fix it. 4 years of public high school, well, technically 5 years of public school. Are you trying to say
the only person that could explain a comma splice was a lawyer?
Yes. I went through several years.
That makes me angry.
I went through several years of homeschooling up until the 8th grade. I spent 8th grade through 12th in public school to get, the social skills.
Yeah.
2 years into college. And in the second year of college, I take, the master, it's supposed to be a capstone English class, which I took 2 of them because I was stupid that semester. Because that particular semester, I decided to take the 1 credit of math, the 1 credit of science, 2 different capstone master-level English classes, and a computer science class on top of it, and I was miserable that semester.
Damn the torpedo!
Yeah, after that semester, I had the shakes, where you wake up every morning for about 2 to 3 weeks going, I missed an assignment, I'm gonna miss an assignment, they're gonna give me an F, and I'm gonna lose a scholarship. Yeah. And it took me until...
happen.
Yeah. Oh, it will. And it took me until that guy, this particular English professor, who he said he initially went to school for law, passed the bar, did lawyer stuff, got bored. He got bored.
Lawyer stuff.
Yeah, he did his lawyer stuff. He got bored with being a lawyer. I don't know how to explain it other than that, because that's what he said.
He must not be one of them there TV lawyers, because every time those TV lawyers on the TV show, they're all a bunch of badasses.
Yeah, clearly.
That cracks me up.
Yeah. And then he went back to school.
It's like, look, you pencil neck dude.
Yeah.
You over here talking smack to a thug.
Yeah.
Who gets paid minimum wage, and you're making, at least 6 figures.
Yeah. And you think you're on the same level. No,
yeah,
you're not.
You think you're on the same
not.
level. This guy, this thug loading this truck is going to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. These TV shows knock me out, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're funny.
And let's see. And then this professor, he basically went back to school to learn English because he liked Shakespeare. Again, that's what he said. Don't ask me questions. Don't look at me like that. Don't ask me questions.
He liked Shakespeare.
And he went
I like Shakespeare, but I don't have it tattooed on my ass or anything.
Oh no, I guarantee you there's a couple of those guys out there. There's at least a couple. I'm willing to bet you. Kenneth Branagh is one of them.
Shakespeare's my homie. Oh my God.
I guarantee you the director Kenneth Branagh has a t-shirt that says Shakespeare is my homie.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Or if he doesn't, he's gonna get one sooner or later.
Is that before or after they knight him?
I don't know actually.
Yeah.
Maybe at the same time.
Probably.
I don't know, the Queen gives him a complimentary t-shirt with that phrase on it. I don't know. She seems cool enough to do that.
Complimentary t-shirt and a toaster.
I'd do it.
Hell yeah.
Just to screw with these people. It's like, oh, you are knighted, here's your t-shirt and complimentary toaster, now get out of my throne room.
Hey, that's not a 4-slice toaster. Fuck you, old lady. Yeah.
Anyway, so this guy, he goes back to school, he gets his English degree, and becomes an English teacher.
Yeah.
When he could have been a lawyer making 6-7 figures, but he decided to be a teacher. I don't know.
Why he didn't want to?
I don't know.
He's 6'7". Yeah, he was afraid.
I don't know.
He was afraid he was going to burn in hell.
I don't think he cared, but whatever.
Well, he was a lawyer.
Yeah. I think here's the thing. I have a little bit more respect.
Yeah, obviously and truly, I'd have more respect for somebody who would.
I have more respect for a prosecutor lawyer, because at least they have one job.
Man.
They have one job.
Yeah.
Now, do you like that job? No.
God bless him, but yeah. I tell you, it just.
I get it. But here's the thing. He was the only person that was able to tell me what a comma splice was, which is something I struggled with throughout my entire scholastic career.
He was probably, the 6th person that had tried?
He was like the 8th or 12th by this point. Seriously. I had gone through, from the very minimal, which is the basically the computer, homeschool. The computer didn't teach me dick. Public school, which they don't care. No. Not anymore. Some of the teachers in high school that I went to, they did care, and God bless them, they didn't last very long.
Well, ultimately, it's got to be down to the individual, and I don't think that the majority of, and this is not to slam any group.
No. Because we were going to slam a group, we'd tell you.
Yeah. But next up.
Batter up.
That's right. No, but I don't think. I think you have to instill. I think you have to figure out the path that helps you instill in the child.
Yeah.
That that yearning for self-improvement. That's the thing about being a parent. You don't have to be perfect.
No.
God knows, I've definitely failed at that. But you have to express, the most productive way to advance in this life, and
not be a dick.
Not be a, not be a complete dick about it. Just I think you have a lot of respect for. You have a lot of respect for an individual that is, that is trying.
Yes.
That is working toward, and they may never reach that goal, but you have respect for someone who is working toward something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I think as a parent, if you genuinely are transparent and you genuinely are trying to improve in spite of evidence to the contrary.
Sure. Sure.
I think that matters a lot. And
yeah. No, I don't disrespect teachers or nothing because God knows they have a lot on their plate, especially now.
especially now. I mean, how do you? I can't even. I mean, this is a. Listen, we talked about this.
Yeah.
We talked about this. Talked about. I mean, I've said about 5 years ago about that it was my opinion that because. These are some interesting connections. I never thought in my lifetime that I would see people go to a church that would watch a screen that the individual that was considered their pastor, quote unquote, their pastor, was miles and miles away, that they never would lay their physical eyes on the physical being of this individual.
And yet here we are.
And they would show up and watch this person on a screen. And I never thought, and that's definitely in my neighborhood. But I never thought anything like that would happen. And, when I saw it, I thought, if people will settle, and that can have a negative connotation in this sense. I don't mean it in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
But people will settle their minds to going to a building and observing
basically a holodeck.
Basically a holodeck. If they would do that for spiritual matters, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump to doing it for school. And
here we are.
Here we are. It's been a very
tumultuous is an understatement.
That is an extremely astute observation. Tumultuous is an understatement. I mean, we are. It's not a matter of.
2020 was a sentinel event, and
it's
everything.
A huge sentinel event.
All these
my God!
Here's the thing. What always irritated me was during 2020, people were saying, "Oh, this is the new normal," and then there's this counter argument of we're going to go back to normal, and
no.
Here's the thing. On the one hand, there's no fucking way we're going back to the old normal.
Well,
it's impossible. After the intense shakeup that 2020 was.
This is all the people that are involved in this type of cultural exchange.
Yeah.
Keep fighting.
Yeah.
Because you are fighting for the future of this. We have a word, and we are seeking to put together a definition for that word. And whoever is going to fight the hardest is going to define this moment in time, and have control of its narrative.
Yeah, there's a lot of control being sought out over. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get into.
No, I mean it's
exhausting talking about the possibility of everything becoming this weird. Dictatorial oligarchy, one world universal government.
Yeah, well, I mean, good God.
And it's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Your generation's been spoon-fed this narrative. Look at gaming.
Yeah, what about it?
This dystopian.
Okay, to be fair, that has existed for longer than I've been alive, like with Blade 2020, or Blade Runner.
Well, it has. If you look at entertainment culture, but has that particular narrative dominated prior to, say, 40 years ago?
I think. Here's the thing. I think what is about to take place is one thing that I have noticed.
Yeah.
Now, this is not 100% accurate. Me studying in the entertainment industry and media, which, will I get involved in it? I don't know. Hopefully, but, in my own way.
Yeah.
I'm the person that, I want to, direct and write the scripts, but in terms of, opportunities, it's basically what I had to explain to several months ago is what I had to explain to some college administration person when they looked at the grades of the 2 years I did go to school.
Yeah.
Or the 2 years of grades I did go to school for. I basically straight up told them I was the smart kid with no money. I can do a lot.
Well.
But I don't have the funding or the opportunity.
You didn't want the you did have option for funding.
Sure.
You just, that particular option you didn't choose.
Yeah, I don't do loans.
Yeah. And
I've seen it destroy people.
It,
it's just, it doesn't look like it's worth it.
So for someone like you, yes, that's a gray area.
Mm-hmm.
For the average individual,
yeah.
Once they find what it is they're good at, they need to attack it.
Yeah, but most people don't get that opportunity. But
True.
Anyway, so one thing I have noticed about the entertainment industry is depending on the culture at hand, the media surrounding the culture will either be the opposite of what is happening or a strong reinforcement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, mind you, like I said, this is not 100%. What I mean is, in times of where it is prosperous and peaceful, or at the very least just prosperous, because, war, things will typically take a turn for, like prosperous times, there will be definitely a reinforcement of the prosperous times, but there will also be this minority of like the what if scenarios. What if we lose? What if it becomes not prosperous? Ooh, just kind of just jolt people into appreciating what they have.
Well, I think we're in an era of.
We're definitely in an era of our version of a dystopian future. And I think in the next couple of years, because of all of the nihilism in my generation and what's happening in the real world, we might actually see an uptick of we'll see an uptick in kind of the more mainstream of possibly pushing this whole everything's happy and bubbly and sugar, we're all happy here. But there will be a definite undercurrent of we're all gonna die, we're running out of oil, the earth is heating up, why bother having families when you can have dogs, cats, and lizards, which is already taking place. All of that.
I mean, those types of things have been interjected into our culture, and some people do find direction from that.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not a natural state, and the thing that people need to understand is that they will tell you that I see a lot of this. They will tell you that what is natural law.
Yeah.
They will tell you that it doesn't mean that.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Shut up.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And
shut up, Brenda.
That's exactly what people are going to have to contend to, because 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, 100 years from now, these elements will still be in play.
Oh, yeah. No, I know.
Because they've always been in play.
Yeah, always.
Always.
They might change the names, and they might change an order of the various severity.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. Those lines in was it Jurassic Park, where life will find a way.
Yes, Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum in
life finds a way
in a leather jacket, which is really disturbing. And
yeah,
so,
I think I know.
Yeah,
they did that on purpose.
Yeah, they did it on purpose. You should have had a prayer shawl. Never mind. And
Shay, take it easy. I know you just woke up. Damn.
Excuse me.
Honestly and truly, what's happening today, I don't know how clear I've mentioned it in previous podcasts or even in real life, because I don't know. I try not to talk about this stuff outside of this room, or at least outside with you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people either just don't get it, or they just don't want to talk about it. But I keep seeing stuff on the whole thing with now I don't know.
No, they don't get it.
No, I get that. I get that they don't get it.
No,
this whole thing with all this stuff they keep saying, the earth is dying, la 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 la. Saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then there's people my age and a little bit older, a little bit younger, just not having kids. Like, I keep seeing reports of this. It's like we're having a sudden decrease in people having kids, and I'm like, okay, first and foremost, I don't know how true that report is about low birth rate in the North American region, because we've all been inside all the time.
Yeah.
I know people who live together, they gotta do something to not be crass. So I don't know how prevalent that report is. There wasn't a lot of details, so I can only assume it was doctored. But,
Well, I mean, they're not...
but I still keep seeing this thing of, like, some of the millennials, some of the Gen Zers, and younger generations just not entertaining the thought of having any sort of family or having any sort of relationship.
That's not going to last very long.
No, I know it's not going to last very long. I'm just trying to get to the point. My point is there is going to have to be a huge reset, because, people my age, can't, the whole thing with the 2008 thing we discussed last time.
Yeah.
Gotta have experience to get a job, need a job to get experience. That's still happening. Student loan stuff keeps getting jacked up because the colleges are letting these people get stupid degrees that don't have any sort of jobs.
Don't have any jobs.
That keeps happening. Money is being pumped into the economy and therefore driving up the inflation, and therefore everything's become increasingly more and more worthless as time marches on.
That is correct.
That is happening.
Yes, it is.
And people keep saying that it's too expensive to have a family because of these last couple of reasons. Obviously, there are more reasons on top of it, but that keeps happening, and I'm seeing all this stuff mounting, saying the earth is dying, and the high volume of inflation because of the beer flu, and the way the weird job system is worked, and just everything just piling on top of each other, and on top of each other, and on top of each other. And I just keep looking at this ever increasing pile of what in the fuck. And I keep seeing this pile grow, and I'm like, I'm pointing at it saying, this is going to tip over. And, this big reset button, this is going to tip over. Something is going to make this fall over.
Here's the thing.
And I don't know what's going to happen. Because this can't last forever.
Once again,
I just don't know what that is.
As human beings, we have the tendency to look at the comic book version of everything.
Oh, of course.
Okay. So we see this changing dynamic as a tsunami, when actually it's going to take place more along the lines of a wonderful southern shower of rain. It's going to be
warm, wet, and irritating.
It's going to be gentle. It's going to take place over a longer period of time. And it's not going to be quite so, we have a tendency to view things as being like going to the dentist and having the dentist rip a tooth out of her head with a pair of pliers.
Yeah.
But when actually, we are medicated and prepared, and then someone comes in and surgically does what needs to be done. It's not going to be quite as traumatic. Yeah. These transitions, like the things we study about. Mm-hmm. It's like the Dark Age. The Dark Ages. It was like 1,000 years.
About 500 to 1,000 years, give or take.
1,000 years. And all it was the
fall of Rome.
It was the fall of Rome. That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. Okay.
I think the reason why
people who lived by cultivating ground, their lives didn't really change.
Honestly,
the majority of people's lives didn't really change. Yeah.
Honestly, I think part of the whole thing with the Dark Ages is because, Rome essentially was falling / fell, quote unquote.
Quote unquote, yeah.
Rome wasn't built in a day. It didn't fall in a day.
No,
either.
it didn't fall in a day either.
No.
No, that's ridiculous.
And I think just as that entire empire started to collapse and implode on itself, what they're talking about, barbarians roaming the countrysides, because the Legion had other to do, like trying to make sure, the capital didn't burn completely to the ground.
And everybody talks about it like it being some kind of
this cataclysm.
Yeah, exactly.
Cataclysmic event.
Cataclysmic event.
Really.
But no, not really. Because that's just what happens to empire.
Yeah. If you decay over 1,000 years, that's not cataclysmic. That's just a natural decline.
That's just,
If something were to completely implode inside of a year, that scale, inside of a year, that's a cataclysm.
That's cataclysm. Right?
Yeah. An empire as big as Rome, it just completely implodes and dissipates over the course of a year to 2 years. That's a cataclysm.
Yeah,
that is a, oh Jesus Christ, what the fuck happened to them type of look back on history. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Countries that lost the world wars.
Yeah.
That's, their fortunes changed in a week.
Yeah. That's cataclysm.
That's a cataclysm, absolutely.
Yeah, for you to, it was like the First World War when they hung everything on Germany, because I used to know the reason why it was specifically Germany, even though it wasn't them initially that started that fight, but they pinned it on them to begin with. I can't remember exactly why.
Yeah, I remember.
It was a multitude of reasons, but I just remember that the whole thing was hung on them, despite it didn't start with Germany in the First World War, I mean.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. I remember they escalated it, but they weren't the cause of what happened in World War I. But I remember reading in a college history class, which is a little bit better than high school, although not by much.
Not by much.
Yeah, I take all of the history stuff with a grain of salt, because history's written by the winners.
Oh, we can't get on that.
I know we can't, but I just remember reading stuff about they basically held the entire nation of Germany hostage for the people who were supposed to sign all the treaties. They basically gave it wasn't negotiation. It was an ultimatum.
This and it all goes back to money.
Yeah, of course it does.
It all goes back to money.
Of course it does.
Germany was involved in an interaction that cost other countries money.
Yes.
And they are saying, okay,
we want our money back.
We want our money back because of having to deal with you. So
they basically
the surrender terms that Germany agreed to
were not fair. They knew they weren't fair.
They knew they weren't fair. They didn't have they
had no choice.
They had no choice.
It was basically be the patsy or we're going to destroy your nation.
And whether justifiably or not justifiably so,
it still happened.
It still happened, and it
obviously just gatewayed into the Second World War. But I don't want to talk about that either.
Gatewayed into the Second.
Yeah, don't want to talk about that either.
Yeah,
everybody and their grandma has a World War II podcast.
Yes.
As everybody else also has like a murder mystery podcast and that stuff. I'm not joking.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, unsolved mystery podcasts and murder crime podcasts. That's very popular.
Really?
It's not my cup of tea.
No.
Honestly, I'd rather listen to.
I could talk like one of those. That's what I need to do. I need to study that. What's the white-haired guy on the? Oh, the one they do on TV. It's on NBC. I know that.
I don't watch TV anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Attenborough guy?
No.
David Attenborough?
No, not David Attenborough.
Oh.
No.
Oh, that's BBC. Anyway. But, no, it's just... Yeah, that's a cataclysm. Inside of a week, their money was worthless. That's a cataclysm.
Yeah.
That is horrifying.
I mean, it has a lot to do with people have these expectations of what they were trying to accomplish, and then they were. I'm not saying it was right or it was wrong, but the payback for Germany was was too heavy.
Yes.
And that's what, that literally was what created Hitler.
Yeah, I know. It crippled the entire system.
It crippled the entire system.
But here's something I always keep looking at in history, but I don't think anyone, well, let me phrase that. It's not that no one has noticed. I haven't discovered a new idea. It's just something that's not widely discussed.
Yeah.
The fuck was that?
I don't know.
You keep talking. I'm going to investigate. What the
Definitely
fuck?
need to investigate that. I don't know what the significance of the terms that ended World War One. But World War II was literally created by the peace that was achieved in World War One. So the entire, literally, the entire aspect of the Nazi Party, the entire aspect of Adolf Hitler, the entire aspect of the Third Reich was literally created by the terms of surrender that came out of World War One, and it strangled the country of Germany in a way that created this movement that was created a movement that was follow or be absorbed. I'm sorry. I'm just trying
I know you're just filling air.
My brain is just like, what the was that?
Well, he wasn't injured, and he
Yeah.
wasn't like desperately trying to get outside.
Like his foot wasn't in a bear trap or
No,
something?
he wasn't
Okay.
hurt. He wasn't like laying on the ground and puking or anything. I think he just wanted attention.
Oh, really?
That's weird because he doesn't howl.
No, he doesn't.
Maybe he's got some wolf in him after all.
Well, I think German Shepherds are pretty close to wolves.
You know, without being wolf dogs, you know.
Correct. I've seen wolf dogs, no.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Wolf dogs do kind of have a small body, but very long limbs.
It depends on the breed. I've seen videos and pictures of basically dogs that look like wolves, but they're like these wolf husky hybrid things.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't mean to have that interruption.
Kids.
Yeah, listeners, sorry about that. Honestly, I don't even know if you're going to hear that in the post-editing process, but
Man, I hope so. That was odd.
Yeah.
That was odd.
That was odd. What the fuck was that? Yeah, nothing bad. It was just weird because that dog does not howl.
No.
He barely speaks as it is.
No.
All he does is growl and play fetch. That's basically it.
Unless you don't belong in this yard,
Yeah.
and then he'll let you know.
Yeah, and then he'll chase you. He's not going to hurt you, but he's very good at convincing people he's going to kill them.
That is correct. You look like you'll kill somebody. Well, not. Well,
Yeah.
you look like you. No, he looks like he's going to tear somebody's arm off.
Yeah, he's a completely 100% black dog.
A black.
Blackety black dog.
The antimatter dog. He's
Yeah.
so black. He looks like he's he's in a different dimension.
Yeah, he's so black. If you let him outside in the broad daylight, it's hard to find him.
It literally, that's crazy.
Like seriously, you just let him
Stone
out.
cold sunlight. He is so black.
Yeah, he absorbs the light.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you let him out near a shady bunch of shady trees, you won't find him.
Oh man.
Yeah, good luck trying to
yeah.
find him at night.
Good luck.
That's why he's got. That's why anytime he goes outside, he's got to have bright colors on him.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. That safety orange collar,
Yeah.
man, until we got that thing, I was worried about letting him out at night. because all I could think of was him running off, and you would you wouldn't have the slightest idea that he even left the yard.
Yes. He's that black.
He's that black.
Yeah.
Don't you turn the light on. I got every light on I can get on, and you still can't see.
Because he looks like a shadow. If he stood still in the dark, you would never find him.
Man. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, barring that weird interlude, what were we talking about?
I don't know. We need to talk about something else then.
Yeah, we're kind of getting into the heavy duty stuff, which it's not a bad thing, but it's definitely a
yeah.
Because we do that a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Admittedly. Okay. I haven't been watching. Okay, initially I wanted to talk about Peaky Blinders, but I'm just kind of in season 2, and I kind of stalled out.
Yeah.
Basically meaning it kind of hit a point where it's like, Yeah. Season 2, Peaky Blinders is Season 1 is pretty good as far as, like, historical dramas go.
Yeah.
You know, Season 1 is pretty good, you know, plays Nick Cave in The Bad Seeds, which I'm like, how the fuck did this happen? It's Nick Cave!
It's been a while.
Yeah. Season 2, it's kind of like, oh, they brought him back. Why did you do that? And it's just, I don't know, there's something with the IRA, which is inside the show, not in real life. It's like,
sure.
It's the IRA, they're doing a bunch of stuff, and Thomas Shelby's doing his thing, and then the drugs, and the fucking Colonel What's-It-Face, Sam Neill, basically, with a vaguely Irish accent. I think it's Irish. It's definitely not Scottish. And it's like, I just kind of hit a wall, and it's like, this is fucking boring.
Yeah.
And it's got like 6 seasons? Oh god, please tell me they picked up after season 2. So I just kind of
something had to have picked up.
Yeah, because it's got 6 seasons. I don't know if it ever got canceled or ended, because I don't want spoilers, but at the same time, it's like, man, this is fucking boring. Like, I was enthralled in the first season. Seriously, what happened? I don't know. I guess it's whenever the main character finally obtains their success and wealth, you kind of... It's not that you have to be a really good writer to keep going after that. You know what I mean?
As a rule of thumb, yeah.
Yeah, it's this whole thing of you watch main characters struggle and survive and claw their way to victory, and they found victory, but ultimately there's really nothing left. You have to be a very good writer to keep people invested after that.
You mean nothing left for the character? Or
yeah, it's basically like Alexander the Great. You know, that the story of he finally won his last battle and he wept for there were no more worlds to conquer. You have to be a very good writer to keep writing a character once there are no more worlds to conquer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So
how are you going to continue to be interested in that?
Exactly. There are no more challenges left before you. Where do you go from there? You know?
You know, their complete work is ego-driven or success-driven, and then once they accomplish
all of that, it's like,
what do you pull for?
Exactly.
You know?
I think they're gonna turn around and just make him fall from grace, based on what I read in the Netflix subscription end episode bits. But until then, I'm just kind of stalled out. So originally I was going to talk about the Peaky Blinders, but then the absolute what the fuck you and the matriarch saw the other night, I caught glimpses of it. Polar? That B-movie John Wick knockoff?
I didn't...
I know you didn't seek that movie out.
No, but I didn't... I mean, I didn't watch it as closely as I could have. It was kind of one of those... It
is so cheesy and B-movie. Like,
oh, absolutely.
It it is definitely
Absolutely.
it is definitely in the exploitation B
yeah.
movie genre.
And it's put together well.
Oh yeah, from what I did see, I was just going back and forth between what you guys watching Polar and me cooking something because I got to eat eventually.
Right.
Sooner or later I got to do that.
I do have a tendency when in the first 3 minutes of a movie, someone pulls out a gun with a silencer on it. I do have a tendency to go, oh. Okay.
Okay, bro.
Okay, bro.
Let's see where this
that
goes.
completely recategorizes everything that comes after that.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I get it.
It's like when you saw that movie Seven Psychos for the first time. You saw those two dudes just talking about some chick running, and like she had a nice ass, and all of a sudden, bam, bam, like within the first 5 minutes.
Right.
You had no idea.
You understand that your original expectation varies just a tad.
Yes.
Just a tad.
And you gotta recalibrate that.
You gotta recalibrate that.
Yeah, I'm not saying...
And that's okay.
I'm not saying Seven Psychos is good or bad, but it's one of those movies where yes.
Yeah.
From what I saw of Polar, it's definitely a yes. Because at first, when I saw the first couple minutes of it, it was like, I thought, I was like, what is this? Some like John Wick knockoff, which of course was bound to happen.
Well, even John Wick was a knockoff of things that came before him.
True, but still, that's what I mean. Any time in Hollywood something just fucking lands. I mean, stone cold.
No, you're right.
Home run out of the park. Just makes 5 bajillion at the box office worldwide.
Oh my God.
They are going to repeat the ever-loving it out of it.
John Wick. John Wick was a shot out of the park. Let me tell you, the whole his wife died. And the puppy. Oh my God.
And here's the thing.
I almost started taking notes. I mean, it was ridiculous. I was like, damn, they worked that in there.
Well, here's the thing. They had to kill the dog because if they just stole John Wick's car, then you couldn't find any sort of justification why he would just run out and kill 87,000 people just for a car.
Just for a car.
But the fact that he was recently widowed, the fact that they broke into his house, beat the shit out of him, stole his car, and then shot the dog that his late wife gave to him as a remember me.
Oh, hey, you gotta get them white chicks involved.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, the puppy was a forget-me-not gift from his late wife.
Oh.
So you have all of this combined.
I'm gonna tell you something. When I heard,
of course, he's gonna kill 87 people.
The first time I watched that film, when I heard the stomp in the background when the guy killed the dog, I was like, oh shit.
And what's even...
Everything after that was completely plausible.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All
positively.
of the things.
I was laughing. I was like, wow, these folks they figured...
They done up themselves.
They done it now, buddy. Yeah.
And what I thought was just genius about the first John Wick movie was the villain gave a villain speech about John Wick. Here's the thing. In most movies, the heroes, they have to...
Oh.
In most movies, there's usually like one, maybe a little bit more than one person giving some kind of expositional type of speech about how evil the villain is.
Right.
To hype
It's usually like one of the side characters.
Yeah. Or
usually the main. It's not usually the main protagonist.
Not usually.
But it's usually someone in the protagonist circle.
Yes.
Who goes, don't you understand? This guy's a killing machine.
Sauron has returned, like the Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
The first 5 to 10 minutes of the Fellowship of the Ring of them hyping up Sauron as the ultimate end of the world. We have to put this motherfucker in the ground.
They have to create tension.
Yeah, they have to create tension.
Yeah.
And what I loved about John Wick, this is one of my top 5 favorite parts of the movie, was the villain gave a villain speech.
The villain gave the villain speech about John Wick.
The same Sauron has returned speech.
Right.
the villain gave that speech about John Wick.
And
it was just like, what the fuck am I watching?
And as he punched his son in the jejunum.
Yeah. which was justified.
Then you're like, no. This guy's a real bad guy.
Yeah, this guy is like,
man.
This guy is like head of the Russian mafia, and he can do nothing to protect his son from being stupid.
Yeah.
He's gonna throw everything he can at John Wick, but ultimately he knows it's fruitless effort.
It was done so well. It was so plausible. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
And then Polar. Which is not terrible.
Did you watch all of Polar?
No, I only saw the bits here and there. I'm going to watch the rest of it.
The last 15 minutes will shock you.
In a good way or a bad way? Am I going to throw shit at the screen? That's my main question.
I'm just saying you're going to see somebody involved in a situation that you think you understand.
But I don't.
But the last 15 minutes will tell you that he's actually a pawn. You haven't seen it. That's what I'm saying.
I'm writing this down. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Hey, it ambushed me too. I was like,
what the fuck
is that?
You're thinking, it's a John Wick ripoff, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh.
Yeah. It was a little twist there at the end. That had a big impact on the storyline for the entire.
All right, I'm
series.
going to watch. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Not yet.
Spoilers.
Not yet. That'll be next week.
Right.
When I eventually watch it. Honestly, it just kind of shook me because, for one thing, I was like, oh, it's a John Wick ripoff, it's like, and then I saw the boss lady, she's getting like finagled by these strippers, and it's like, what the fuck am I watching? And then the main character, played by Mads Mikkelsen, how do they say his last name? I'm sorry, dude.
What? Mads McQuigglesome?
No. Hang on. I have to
McQuigglesome?
No. Stop it. That is not how you say that man's last name. Hang on. No.
The older brother of the guy that played the clown in It?
No. Two different people. No.
That guy's been in a bunch of stuff, though.
No. What year?
He's
the guy playing
Swedish or
the guy playing It was hang on.
Skarsgård.
Yeah, it was Skarsgård, who I believe he is Swedish. The guy I'm talking about is Danish, which is very different.
Oh yeah.
Just trust me. Yeah, this guy.
Oh, okay.
That guy.
Yeah, no, he's been in. He's
been in a lot of stuff.
He's always like that weird dude over in the corner, kind of.
Except now he's killing people. Again. Yeah, I just saw him because I was like, wait, I saw him and it's like, hey, that's the guy that played handball. What are you doing with that power drill, bro?
He's been the bad dude in a couple of things.
I think, he was Hannibal, obviously, because I would not shut the fuck up about Hannibal for the longest time.
Yeah.
Casino, I'm not going back into it. If they make a season 4, I'm going back into it, I will tell you that. Casino Royale,
he was the bad guy in Casino Royale.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. There's even a game that I've yet to crack open just because I just got busy by the time it came out.
Yeah.
Death Stranding. He was the bad guy in Death Stranding. I don't know what he does because what I have seen of him online, it looks like he's some kind of weird humanized tentacle monster. And I'm like, this is confusing me on a biological level.
Oh yeah, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like, wait, are you Legion? Because you got like a platoon of soldiers attached to your hip.
Legion?
Seriously, it's like he's got a platoon of soldiers attached to some kind of tentacle trailing on his hip, and it's like, what the fuck did Kojima make? Hideo Kojima, he made Death Stranding. I'm like, what did you make?
100 men.
I'm like,
test today.
Something I don't know. I haven't played I have not played Death Stranding yet. I'm going to. I know it's a walking simulator. Shut up, listeners who've actually played it. I don't care.
3.
Yeah, whatever.
For the Green Beret.
I don't know. Anyway, so I saw Mads on the screen, and I'm like, "Hey, that's the thing." Oh, he just used a nail gun, and nailed that guy to a wall, and he nailed this dude's testicles to his leg. What are you doing with that power drill, bro?
Yeah.
Oh God, what the fuck?
Aren't you supposed to be a licensed carpenter?
Yeah.
To handle those tools.
Yeah, I'm always. Every time I see him in something, I always question myself and like, how the fuck did you get hired for this?
Well, I mean, he kind of has that.
I'm not saying he is not a bad actor. He
definitely has that weird guy. He's white.
Well, he's Danish. Of course, he's white.
Of course, he's white. And then there's this. He's kind of like that Steve Buscemi kind of thing. Except
Mads is way more attractive than Steve Buscemi.
He's extremely more attractive than Steve Buscemi will ever be. But
yeah,
he still has this.
Because Mads has cheekbones.
He still has this non-North American
vibe to him. No, I know that.
Timing and everything.
Yeah. No, I get that. No. I don't dismiss him for that. It's just when I saw him, I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh, Jesus! And now I have to watch the movie because I'm like, why was any of this? What? Why? How? So I guess next week we'll talk about it more in depth once I finally watch it.
You know, if you're one of those people that enjoys those, hey, we got a whole bunch of assassins in the same city and they're trying to take each other out.
I like that sort of thing, as long as it's well done.
As long as it's well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Well, here's the thing. I'm down for most anything as long as it's well done, you know?
True.
You know, mystery, murder, horror, obviously.
Yeah.
I love that. This is a little bit out of my wheelhouse because I typically don't venture into that whole John Wick genre, which I guess is now what it's called. I mean, a couple of years ago, the genre was Liam Neeson kills everything.
Liam Neeson, and prior to that was probably Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, Schwarzenegger.
There's been a couple other actors.
Bruce Willis.
Definitely.
Basically, it has become the genre of actor blank kills everything. You know, he was Liam Neeson for a while. Currently, it's John Wick. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis. Most of the 80s was filled with Person X kills everything movies.
Sure.
Sometimes they're not human, like with the Predator and the Xenomorph, but that's, different conversation, but still.
Yeah.
I don't know, just to kind of cap things off, because I gotta skedaddle. The whole thing is, I just saw Polar, and I'm like, how did you get... It's not that... Here's the thing, I don't mind exploitation films.
No.
I don't. I like Mad Max.
I mean, work is work.
Yeah, work is work. Just commit if you're doing an exploitation film.
Right. I mean...
It was just the whole thing, it was just this whole huge compare and contrast where the boss lady contacting the main character, she's basically has two strippers' asses in her face, and she's got a frickin' afro on.
Yeah.
And she's talking to the main character, Mads. She's talking to Mads like, hey, did you get the job done? And then it cuts back to him, who just upped this dude up. And his security guards.
Right.
He nailed this dude to a wall, got down on the floor, and then shot the guys in the security.
Oh yeah.
Because he knew they were there. How could they not be there?
Yeah, that was
something else.
Okay, when he nailed him to the hallway wall.
Yeah.
That was different.
Yeah, and then
I get the whole Christ thing.
Yes.
Stigmata.
Of course.
I get it. I was like, oh wow.
Okay, well, all right, bro. And then it cuts back to Mad saying, hey, I was sent here to do a job, but it looks like I was the target. If I find out who set me up, I'm gonna kill them. You better hope that it's not you. Because he doesn't explain what he's gonna do to him.
Right.
You never explain what you're gonna do. You gotta let him linger on that thought.
It's not Batman 1966.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. So And then it just cuts back to the boss lady just being all, like, God damn it, man, you're supposed to die. And she still has the strippers on her. Like,
you know what I can never figure out about those that type of genre?
What, exploitation?
No, these movies that are like,
we gotta throw the strippers in there.
You know, the guy that works for us, the assassin, he's like the greatest assassin that ever lived.
Let's kill him.
Let's kill him.
I mean,
what?
It's just like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I never understood that.
You know, when they read their resume, right? Hey, was a fucking Green Beret in 1968, 1969. He was working in Panama in 1984 within Noriega. You know, and it's
he killed Santa Claus twice.
He got Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, you rabbit bastard.
And then they're like, let's kill him.
Let's kill him. Oh, hell yeah. I've been waiting for somebody to pull that cord.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm just like,
I run to the whole,
at least in John Wick, they had the excuse of the son being young and stupid, had no idea who John Wick was.
Yeah, it was kind of an accidental thing.
Sort of.
They kind of put him in the same gas pump at the same time.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just happenstance.
It was happenstance.
That John Wick is fate.
Yes.
Okay. There's calculated, and then there is fate.
That was a fate
that
encounter.
Was definitely fate encounter.
That made it
John
plausible.
Wick. That made it plausible.
But other than that, this whole thing of this is like the greatest assassin ever known on the face of the planet. Let's kill him.
Yeah, they're now a liability.
Let's kill them. It's like, dude, why?
Yeah, man.
Dude, it would be far easier and probably cheaper in the long run if you just paid them to go away.
It's a huge category. I see it in so many movies.
It's like, this is the best of the best. Let's kill them. Let's mug them. Just pulls out a knife. It's like, hey, that paratrooper is the greatest hero in the world. Let's go mug him.
Yeah. Yeah, don't you have like a trainee or something we could send in there?
Yeah, can you
kill him?
Yeah, can you send? Here's the thing: if you're gonna go kill your A game, can you at least go send the B and C squad too? Yeah,
you know, if you got a D fellow in the back, you know
he's gonna die.
Yeah, really. You know, the one that's got the glass eye and
what, he's got a hook for a hand?
Prosthetic foot. I mean, it's ridiculous. And they send that person.
Yeah, they send that guy. It's like, no, what you do is you get, first of all, the target is the best assassin in the world, top of the line.
Top of the line.
Tip of the pyramid. What you do is you send literally everyone else after him.
His name is Poindexter.
Yeah, and he's got a laser rifle named Ricky. He took it from Mulder.
Oh, that's bad.
I just don't get it. Like I said, at least with John Wick, it was happenstance and it was fate, because otherwise they would not have fucked with him.
Right.
But with Polar, I don't even know why they want him dead. You know why they want him dead. I don't.
I honestly don't recall why they want him dead. You know, it's kind of that standard thing. You don't do what we say, or...
Yeah.
You know, they have a change of heart where they're formerly a bad person, but now they're a good person because they had to kill somebody's kids.
Or something like that.
Woke. They got woke, quote unquote.
Whatever.
Woke.
I think part of it.
I don't know.
I think if I remember what I watched from Polar, it was something like he was about to retire and he just wanted to retire.
Right.
He just wanted.
I guess so.
The main character just wanted to fuck off to like this cabin in the woods and be by himself.
Here it is. He was.
And then they're like, "Fuck you."
Upon his retirement, he was. Excuse me. He was due. $8 million.
Oh, and they killed him because of the insurance.
Yeah, and all they had to give him was $4 million.
And he would have been pissed regardless.
So they decided, instead of paying them an extra $4 million, that they just kill him.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. That actually makes more sense now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, why would you do this to yourself?
It was something like that.
Okay.
There was money involved.
Okay, that makes sense.
It wasn't personal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The boss's wife or something.
Okay, all right. That makes a little bit more sense,
Yeah.
other than just this weird thing of like, I don't like you no more.
Interesting how the economic info can change the perspective. Yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So I got a new movie to watch. I still have got to watch the fucking X-Files movie just so I can get on with my life.
Yeah, you need to watch that.
Just so I can start season 6.
Just so that's what you think.
Yeah, shut up. All right, how about I go break my brain over the next week and then we'll talk about it next week.
No.
I'm going to watch the X-Files movie and then I'm going to watch Polar and then I'm going to have a mental breakdown and then we'll talk about it next podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you'll be, medicated under a physician's care. Absolutely.
No. There is no medication with this podcast.
No.
Because we're tired, we do bad.
That's true.
But anyway, I gotta go.
Yeah, that's cool. I
gotta get some social interaction because, well, I've been inside for most of the year. So,
yeah, you have.
It's not that I don't want to go outside. It's just, well, I would like to see my D&D group again, like visually with my eyes.
Yep.
Because I'm tired of casting rainbow magic friendship is magic missiles at for slight context, in the current D&D campaign I'm in, I am a warlock with a Fey patron, and my Eldritch Blast is rainbow magic. Because I have the brain of a child, apparently. Even though my intelligence and wisdom is better than the cleric. I don't know why that is either, for those of you who understood what I just said.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, I somehow have a better wisdom than the cleric. I don't know how that happened.
All right.
They made it itty cleric, let's face it.
Nerd
anyway.
alert.
Shut up. If you ever got into a D&D group, you would be gazongos about it too.
I think that might not be a good idea.
What, you get too involved in it, Mr. Legend of Zelda?
No, I would start taking advantage of all the patrons.
Don't do that.
Bend them to my will.
I think you would do best as a warlock as well.
Sure.
You're probably a fiend lock if I had to take a hazard at it. Anyway.
Whatever that is.
Long story.
Woo!
Alright, well, that's it, folks.
That's it.
I was your host, Bel-E.
Hot dang. And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Bye.
Goodbye.